Lacey, it's our city. 60 Northwest. We got that. Lacey. So pretty. Loving it when you rain on me. There ain't nothing like my city.
What time do you guys wake up?
So crazy because when I was in prison, I used to get up like 5:30 every morning and get ready every day. And then when I got out, I was still getting up really early, like by 7 and stuff. And then now I like to sleep in a little bit more.
I can't help it, man. I just wake up. I'm just like up, dude.
I wish I was like that because I like that to be just like up and
Up, dude.
Yeah.
But that's why I keep my U-Haul job. I don't make any money there, right? I keep it because I want to keep that routine.
What is it?
I work at U-Haul still. I've been there almost 3 years. I get up and I'm like, I'm the asshole who locks you out of your storage unit when you don't pay. I'm that guy. I'm that asshole. But you know, I be having my favorites and stuff. I'm not on camera.
Yeah, you're on camera. We're live.
Oh.
Ask.
Joking.
Ask. Go ahead. Ask it. One time.
I'm just that asshole who locks you out of your storage unit.
No, ask the question. You know what I'm talking about.
Is live?
Oh. I fuck with you guys, man.
It's live. Yeah.
Oh man.
Welcome to the Love and Lacey podcast show for the 360.
Let's see.
We live.
I'm Lacey from Lacey.
That threw me off a little bit. The whole order threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's your boy B.
Get it together,
AKA
guys.
Be Active. We are live for the first portion of the show, and
Cal from Cal, you know what I'm saying? Cal from Cal, you know, or Blackie Schwarzenegger.
What is wrong with you? What is
Blackie
wrong with
Schwarzenegger.
you? And why you looking over here like fucking bad boys and shit on vacation?
yeah, Mike Lowry.
Motherfucker.
It's Kalvin.
Okay.
It's Cal from Cal. Mike
Yeah,
Lowry.
fuck
Just got me this shirt.
Okay.
He gonna blame it on the wifey. He would blame it on the
Like going on
wifey.
some vacation or something. Or to a little functiony.
Right after the podcast, we're gonna hop on a plane on a boat ride on a cruise. This is a cruise shirt, huh?
Is it? Mike
Yeah.
Lowry.
My Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
What's up, guys? Thank you guys for all your support. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for tuning in. We got some fun coming down the pipeline today. Oh my goodness. What's up? What's been up with you guys, man?
Well, shit, you missed it. You was at work. You know what I'm saying? It happened.
I tried to get there, man.
I know you wanted to meet Riley.
I
so-
did want. I want to meet him so. Next time he's in town,
Did
I'm
you see
gonna.
what? Did you even see?
I
Look.
texted you last night. I think you fell asleep though.
No, did you see? Look.
I did. I saw it on the
yeah.
internet. That's filthy.
Yeah.
So
we
you
got-
showed up later.
No, I was there the whole time.
No, she was there the whole time. We did the
I
whole
was just the last
episode.
one.
We did the episode with my son,
No, it was
my
like the addy.
future son-in-law. Everybody getting tatted. Lacey got tatted last.
Right.
I'm sure y'all seen her tattoo on the Facebook post. And then so that episode drops tomorrow, 6 p.m. every Monday. We'll be dropping our episodes on the YouTube channel. They're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. I think there's another one like Deezer.
There is another one. Yeah.
Deezer and you know
There's two more. There's two more.
your typical mainstream, you know, podcast host. We're on there. Love and Lacey. You'll find us. Just type in Love and Lacey podcast. So today, it's a couple things. Aries brought up the fact that we want to give a shout out to Tyler Lockett.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey, make sure you tag him in this too if you can, so he sees it and
I mean,
maybe
yeah.
we'll have him on a future episode. Now,
Who knows? Maybe.
he'll come down.
We do know this. We were both working at Red Lion in 2017.
Tell him how fire that job was, though.
Tell
Tell him how fire that job was. That was a bomb ass job, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was like that for
Why don't you
sure.
have
For
that for
sure.
a second job? Isn't that like a weekend gig too?
Well, okay, so there's a couple of people that work there that have been there for like 12, 13, 18 years, and they work year round because there's certain seasons where it's not as busy. But then during the legislature, it gets really busy, and that's when we got on. We were working
We
at
got
the
on.
wall
Speaking
shop.
of the Red Line, I feel like people forget about it. That is a really nice
It really
freaking
is.
hotel, and
It
their
is.
restaurant is so pretty. It overlooks the lake
Yes.
and the city and stuff. It's really nice, and it's actually pretty decently priced. I
It is.
believe.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It's just it's real old, but they remodeled a bunch of stuff, and like their restaurant is freaking bomb.
Expensive,
The breakfast is slapping too, and I'm a breakfast guy. I love my breakfast. And
I remember we used to go up there and get the little. I'm not gonna put too much on blast.
there's a lot of shit we used to do there. Red Line was hella fun. It was a good ass job, and it was union.
And it was union.
So we got our ish.
Mhm.
Sometimes we get them checks, or officially it was minimum wage. Unofficially, we get checks that when you do the math, it's
Gratuity
like
was
$42 an hour. Like we was killing. Then we got to meet people, like how I started this conversation. We met Tyler Lockett. He came for a function down there, and he was super cool. Super cool. He actually was the one that said, "Hey, you guys, let's take some pics."
He did.
Remember?
He did.
He's the one that, because we were just chopping it up with
We
him.
just want to say hi.
Remember, we were on the stairs. We
Yeah.
weren't even like anywhere like official. We were literally doing our job, pushing through, and he was coming down the stairs and stopped us. He was like, "What's up with y'all, man? Like, what's going on?" And
He's
like,
one that gave his phone to his partner. Remember, he's like, "Hey, get this picture for the homies."
Get these two, man.
Yeah, it was
And,
cool, man.
Is he an active player?
Yeah, he still plays.
Tyler Lockett is filthy.
He's that guy. He's caught in so many game winners.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. About
listen,
football.
I'm gonna keep it real. I was a little bit taken aback at his size. You know, on TV, I'm
gonna put the picture in the edits.
Mhm.
I just found Kalvin just sent it to me from his phone. He still had the picture. We're in our Red Lion uniforms, and he's in between us, and you can see the difference. If y'all know me and Kalvin, and then you look at him, you'll be able to tell his size.
What was he doing at Red Line?
He so every year during those functions, they send a football player to represent them. What was it?
No. They had a church. It was so they do functions for what's the word? Not functions. What's the word?
Seminars.
Banquets. They do banquets, and it was actually because he's really religious. He was really Christian. And they had a Christian seminar, and then all of our coworkers were telling us, they're like, "Tyler Lockett's here." And I remember looking through the little window in the door.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "He's right there," and I had to pull out my phone, like, "Is that really him?" You know what I'm saying? So then, everyone was like, "Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Don't mess with him." And so we were on the stairs. We're like, anyways, we're gonna push up on him. You know what I'm saying? And he was hella cool, man. So down to earth. Like B said, man, he was like, "Man, get the picture, whoop de whoop." Gave my phone to his partner. His partner's was cool. I don't know if it was his uncle. I think he said it was his uncle or something like that.
Yeah.
Super down to earth, man. Hey, you know what, Tyler Lockett, we're gonna have you on the show, man. Maybe season 2 or season 3, we're gonna have you on the show, man. Have you come down to Olympia?
Man, I got bigger ambitions. We're gonna get you on the show before season 1, hopefully.
Okay.
Before it's over.
Respect. I just thought the football season coming up. I just thought, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he might be a little busy.
He might have something to do every Sunday.
Maybe. As long as they keep winning.
Right.
We'll see. That's what's up though. But there was, okay, so I did get some emails in the Love and Lacey podcast at gmail.com, and I kind of got called out because in the preseason, we talked about doing your number chart. We talked about your life path number and what that means, and just, it's not like a religious thing. It's, people that are interested in astrology, your signs, Aries, numerology is kind of an addition to that type of philosophy and stuff. So I did your chart.
No, is that what you're talking about in the text?
Yeah,
Let's go.
I had to get you. So how it works is numerology is your entire birthday, your day, your month, your year. You add all the numbers up down the line until you get to a single digit.
Okay.
And then that gives you your life path number, which is the equivalent of your zodiac sign. For example, if you're an Aries, that's your zodiac sign, right? We're all actually Aries.
I do have a question.
Don't know.
I do want to interject. How do you add and then get to a single digit?
I'm
just trying to understand.
So like
you just keep
11
adding.
would be 2.
Which is actually 11 is what they call a master number.
10 would be 1.
10 is 1.
1 plus
right?
0. 11, 1 plus 1 is 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can do the math. It's your birthday.
April 9th.
4 and 9 is 13.
Okay.
Plus 1 is 14. Plus 9 is 23. Plus 8 is 31. Plus 6 is 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. Equals your life path is a 1.
Okay.
And so what that means is your life path number is 1. As per numerology,
Okay.
you are a purposeful and goal-oriented person who has a lot of determination and dedication to reach your goal. Such is the power of your zest to achieve something in life with hard work and resolution. You put your heart and soul into accomplishing your goals. You are always willing to take on problems and hurdles that come your way. You are very clear in your path and quite responsibly take up challenges to meet your needs. Furthermore, you as life path 1 in numerology need attention as well as affection from people around you, and in return, you safeguard them and treat them with love and respect. Sometimes you may become a bit irritated and agitated when things are not going your way or as planned, which has a negative impact on you. All right. And then here's some positives and negatives characteristics of a life path.
Okay.
Number 1, if this is
mine still?
This is all you.
Okay.
One of the things that sets you apart from others is that you are very creative, dynamic, and intellectual, which helps you in your day-to-day task in dealing with people. You are bold enough to take risks, you play poker, and create your own path towards success. You work 17 jobs.
Yes, sir.
Even though you do lose your mind sometimes and become aggressive and dominating, you give great importance to success, struggle, and self-dependence, which is why you sometimes become restive in nature as well. However, it would help if you also kept a watch on being too selfish, aggressive, self-concerned, or over-enthusiastic in your essence, which may hamper your mindset in a negative way, which in turn will affect your productivity. You may also inculcate a dominating attitude and become a bit violent as well, which should be taken care of before the situation gets out of hand. And then it goes on into life path number 1, career and business.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
It is noticed that people with 1 as their life path number are at their best when left alone. I know this about you, bro.
Yeah.
When they are kept by themselves and allowed to work in their own ways with freedom, they can be the most fecund and alert. They are also advised to own a business related to construction or crafts. So, if you work hard and dream big, it is likely that you will be able to achieve it with your devotion and determination. However, this can also cause a lot of strain, tension, and worry, which may have an adverse effect on your body. You don't like this next part. Thus, it becomes a compulsion for you as a life path number 1 to follow a proper schedule, diet, exercise.
We were just talking about this.
You always be running the stairs.
Yeah, we
playing
were just talking
basketball.
about this. Yeah.
Keep yourself healthy both mentally and physically. You can also pick up a sport of your choice, which is hooping, which is also an excellent alternative to stay fit. Another significant aspect of that life number 1 have to keep in mind is to not be overconfident or be too proud of yourself, because being firm to the ground while also being an achiever makes you more humble, which is a trait of a successful person. Instead, being grateful for the skills and abilities you have will help you evolve more as a human being. So, people with life path number 1 are creative, hardworking, determined, and can be quite successful as individuals. However, this can only continue when all these skills are used suitably. Otherwise, they cannot be of any use. Generally, these people are attracted towards business or government organizations. You worked for DLC before.
I did.
For they prefer to pursue a career which needs a potential leader. You might also like to read about numerology 1.
It's interesting.
Right?
I worked for DLC headquarters.
Doing what?
I was a correspondence intern, and then I worked for DLC for $7.90 an hour, and then I worked for DLC for 32 cents.
So you're like a kid.
Yeah. It was in high school through FBLA.
Wow.
I worked there for like
amazing.
2.5 years, 3 years. Yeah,
Well,
man.
damn, and then
And
you
you know-
do some shit.
And then it's crazy. And they offered me a job when I was
Okay.
getting out of high school to stay And I think about it all the time. If I would have just stayed there, I'd be up for retirement right now.
Mm-hmm.
I started when I was 16 and a half, man.
Wearing that shirt, retiring.
I know, he's got
my crew.
Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry.
I'm never wearing this shirt here again.
Hey, I'm on vacation.
That's crazy, bro.
So check it out. Because you know us quite well, we are both life paths number 4. Picture will be in there. I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
This is my whole thing. You know, I believe in the 4 agreements.
What's the 4?
So the 4, life path number 4.
Please tell me you have it ready. Okay.
Personality. Of course I have it ready.
Okay, okay.
This is what we
me.
do.
Is that you?
This is me. Is that you? I'm a 4. You're a 1.
Yes.
So,
yes.
The life path number 4, matter of fact, you go ahead and read it, babe. This is yours too.
Me.
Oh shit, you ain't got your glasses.
Is associated with people who are practical, sensible, pragmatic, and rational by nature. They are quite methodical and well ordered apart from being efficient in their essence. It means they have a rational thought process while making any decision in life. They also have a very determined, resolute, and a purposeful mindset, which makes them accomplish a lot in life because of such dedication and assiduity. Assiduity?
Assiduity.
Okay, well, whatever. This is why I want me to read this shit! No matter what, they never give up, which is one of the best qualities they imbibe. To add further, life path number 4, people refrain from being dishonest and do not believe in doing injustice to anybody, including yourself. You are trustworthy, faithful, dependable, and genuine in your essence, which makes you a linchpin in the society who is respected by the people around. By setting an example, despite being such a fundamental part of community, you are... I don't know. To add further, life path number 4, people refrain from being dishonest and do not believe in doing... Oh, wait, why did you do that?
Because of screenshots.
Linchpin in the society who is respected by the people around by setting an example. Despite being such a fundamental part of the community, you are quite flexible in your characteristics, which makes you a realist who accepts the situation as it is and prepared to deal with the circumstances more practically. However, the personality of life path number 4 may at times be a bit more rigid in accepting external ideas than you usually are, along with being judgmental, but not very often, which is maybe because I hate other people's ideas.
and we go on, the same thing as yours, career and business. People with this numerology life path number are never into earning money through short routes, but they prefer to work hard instead. They put all their blood and sweat into it and then clench their hard-earned money. If your life path number is 4, you can either build a career or start a business. But you will only tend to claim your hard-earned money rather than using shortcut methods to achieve the same. You give a lot of importance to perseverance, dedication, and persistence, which is why you are able to overcome all your limitations, push your boundaries, and provide your efforts full at attaining a state of satisfaction in your work. Another important quality that you hold is being faithful and bonding well with others around you, which are great qualities to imbibe. While working in a group, you try to divide responsibilities so that you and others as well have defined tasks, which make it easier to accomplish the task at hand. You are good at implementation when your work is defined and divided for better results. You do have a very bright future in some areas where you can work on and be productive, like banking, management, science, agriculture, and in the legal fields where you will find yourself more involved, fruitful, and high yielding. However, people with 4 as their life path number often start expecting discipline and timelines from others around them. Moreover, when people are not able to cope with the perseverance that you show, you may become authoritative and impolite, which you may have to keep a check on. You have to realize that not everyone can match up to your pace, and that every individual may take their own time to grasp the information and act accordingly. You, as a life path 4 in numerology, are someone who is quite sensible and pragmatic in your essence, which usually gives you an opportunity to start working at a younger age. Therefore, you surely have a chance to earn some good money right from the beginning, and you will be able to handle it. Now, love and marriage. Another crucial aspect is that you make an ideal life partner given the fact that you are mature and responsible. You may also be a very loving and caring parent, which plays a big role in a marriage. However, you must not rush into getting married. You need to be absolutely sure before deciding to go down that path. So, try to get your best match because there are chances that you may be extremely moved broken and disheartened if things do not work out with you and your partner. So,
Interesting.
what do you think about that, knowing that we're both life paths? 4. That is essentially described.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm listening to it. I'm thinking about your guys' thing. It's interesting. And I'll be real.
How many times did you get married?
Well, I was thinking about
I
it.
didn't know about this before. Right.
I've done some research.
Are
You
you
know what I mean?
faithful now?
But a lot of times I feel like these things are generic to everyone, right? But at the same time, they do describe someone that you know. It's weird, man, about how
Just
you're
like horoscopes and stuff.
right.
It can be really. It can be, like you said, it can be a generalist description where it's like, okay, that can apply to so many people, but
right.
this.
Just so you guys know, I've done very in-depth studies of numerology, and this is the tip of the iceberg. Like
Right.
a lot of people
Right.
who think, oh, I'm all about, my sign, they don't understand that even in astrology, for example, which I've studied also, there's moon side to your sign. There's ascending
that boils down
signs.
to like
There's
the
different
day
dynamics.
And time
There's
you're
Yeah.
there's 9 planets that also contribute to your characteristics in your
I will
birth
say
chart.
on the life path thing for the kids, that's what really shocked me was
Okay.
because Achilles' definition of who he is as a person is extremely to the T for him.
Right.
It is exactly who he is character-wise as a child, and it's crazy.
It's weird, huh?
Yep,
Yeah, we did his
and
together,
Aries too.
and we talked about that, and they were dead on. And I even
And
did it.
that's what's like, whoa.
I even did it for children. So because
Right,
obviously
right,
there's different
because they're not
there's
there
different
yet.
levels.
Yeah.
and it nailed him.
That's weird.
We already
shit.
know our little 6-year-old, so it nailed him. You know what I'm saying? Now another thing is the energies of the universe have their own energies and characteristics. So it's called a universal year. The universal year and your personal year are 2 different things. Sometimes it's a small percentage of people that share the universal year, which doubles the energies. So the universal year is the year we're in down to 1 number, because what a lot of people don't know about numerology is it runs on a 9-year cycle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 1 through 9. So the universal year, each number of each year has its own energies and its own characteristics involving. So right now, 2023 equals 7. So the universal year's energies are a 7, which I looked up just
because we know we're going to talk about it.
So the energy of the 7 is all about diving inwards. Its focus is on spiritual and personal growth and evolution. We're bridging from 2022's nurturing, relationship-focused 6 universal year, which was last year, energy into a time of reflection and inner focus. For individual numerology, learn about this, right? So this is a vital year to take a collective pause as we prepare for a massive reset. The diffused energy of 7 beckons us to go inward, quiet down, slow down, and sit with ourselves. To study, analyze, ask questions, and peel our personal onions. As we contemplate bigger questions, deep shadows rise to the surface, both collectively and individually. Financial gain, however, is not the core focus during a 7 universal year. No, we can't just go along with the business as usual, or place a band-aid or a tourniquet on our fractured economic systems. However, putting a focus on money above all else will bring a harder lesson or a fail in 2023. Starting in 2024, however, we will enter a 3-year push time of global transition and transformation. Next year is an 8 universal year where money and power take a front seat. Before then, the 7 universal year readies us to make wise and spiritually mature decisions. So how to make the most of the 7 year, according to this, is slow down. Slow down. The energy of the 7 is slow, deep, soul shifting, and needs time for gradual digestion and integration. Blazing forward, business as usual, is a recipe for some harder lessons to come into play. So think of 2023 as a sabbatical or a retreat, like academics. We take time away from our usual duties to study, research, and work on a project that will ultimately pay off, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
To figure out, so now that I kind of described like the universal year, now each individual person has a personal year. Your personal year is where you're personally at on the 9-year cycle, and so those energies contribute to where you're at. So for me, you have to add your month and your day. The month that you're born and the day you're born is what they call your attitude number. Your attitude number plus the year that we're in determines your personal year, right? So your attitude is a 4.
Okay.
Because
4
April
and
9th is 13. 1 plus 3 is 4.
Plus 7.
So 4 plus 7 is 11.
Oh, it's 11, right.
So you're at a 2. So you're in the second year of your personal 9-year cycle. So you'd have to look that up. Because I didn't go that far for you.
Okay.
But you know, these are just some things. You guys, obviously, Google has a lot of ways for you if you're interested in numerology and this type of thing. Like I said, I got called out in the email because we had said we were going to do Kalvin's chart.
Right. I'm glad they did
on
too.
A preseason episode, and I do read and respond to those emails. So there you have it. You know who you are, who sent that email. And now we have gone.
You know who you are.
You know. God damn it.
This is Sparta!
But yeah,
interesting, man.
That concludes the live portion. Kalvin has brought again another topic that you guys will see. This episode officially on the YouTube page will drop the 14th.
Right.
Because tomorrow is the Bulldog Tattoo episode. 6 p.m.
I watch it.
6 p.m. it premieres every Monday. We'll be dropping them, so we'll continue to create content that you love and put stuff out there representing the 360, places to go, places to eat, people to see, people to know. You know.
Make sure you guys come back on the 14th. I mean, check out tomorrow's episode. Obviously, make sure you guys come back on the 14th because we need your guys' feedback and opinions on this one. This is gonna be good.
Till next time, you feel me? Let's go. The live portion of the podcast has ended. And Kalvin, once again, has blessed us with some research. He's got a topic. And of course, this is something you guys don't know. He does not tell us what the topic is before he shows up. Only that he has one.
Last topic, all of a sudden, on my TikTok, on my phone, on air. Bro, I hate that shit.
Listen to us, bro, because your phone was sitting around here somewhere.
Your phone's right here,
why is that shit like really? It messes with my mentality.
No, it's
I'd
good.
be like,
okay.
God,
why? It was never that to begin with.
Is that shit? You know?
I don't like that shit, man. I don't like that shit, man.
Like, for real. And I just kept seeing all the shit. I kept forwarding it to him and you.
Yeah, all these UFO pictures.
I didn't catch that. Okay, now I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
All the phone was picking it up. But check it out, too.
Yeah.
Why did my dad, coincidentally, this week...
Okay.
This has to... I mean, this obviously... He's not part of AI or Apple.
Right.
But he sends her a picture of like...
No, he didn't send it to me. He posted it on his Facebook.
Oh, he posted a picture on his Facebook of...
A cloud.
A cloud that was like literally in the shape of a UFO in broad daylight.
With like a tracer cloud after it. And he's in California. He's on base doing some military
He's a Marine.
Shit.
He is a Marine.
And his caption was... what was it?
I'll get that picture from Babe and I'll post it in the
What was his caption? Hold on.
It's on the tip of your tongue?
Yeah, it's the name of a movie actually because he explained it later. Nope.
Oh, nope.
That was his caption.
Nope.
So
that was a good
I was
movie.
like, that's a movie. So he was. Then someone later was like, "Explain." I don't understand. Like, explain. And he was like, "Well, there's a movie called Nope in that."
You haven't seen that movie?
I don't think so.
You know that's Key and Peele wrote that. Not Key and Peele, but Peele. I think it's Peele from Key and Peele. And he wrote the other movie. He's been writing movies lately, but you gotta see it. Yeah, the guy who wrote Get Out also wrote Nope. And they're from Key and Peele. The one with the glasses.
Love Get Out.
You gotta see
the funny guy. The funny guy.
They're both funny.
Remember we were just playing them the other night. He was down here. I put them on real quick. Remember I called you and showed you when the dude was walking down the sidewalk and the cop was coming behind him and he put on the hood and on the side of the hood was the white face and the cop was like, I drove off.
Those dudes are funny, bro.
Yeah,
have you guys haven't seen Nope?
No, I seen it, but
I
full disclosure, I was in the feds, and we wasn't supposed to have you know, we had like
some bootleg stuff, right?
Yeah, some shit you put in the back of the TV.
No, the only other one I knew after Get Out was like This Is Us or something like that.
Nope is good. We can watch Nope after this, baby.
You gotta check out Nope
because I did get to finish it. Because basically
and
the
those
guards.
are those movies I'm talking about with the freaking someone explained to me when there's all this stuff once you get into all the UFO type shit and all the what's it called, like not serious but like the freaking what's it called, like the stuff that be happening and then everyone's all into it. What's it called?
Phenomena.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
But I can never think. I'm not a word person, but basically, so like once you start getting into all that, then all of a sudden you're like focused on it, and once you start conspiracy, thank you, and you're like you watch all the stuff on it, and it just starts making more and more sense, and then it really does feel like it's for real, and so it's like you just kind of either don't want to watch it and stay away from that stuff because you just don't want to like recognize or even like involve yourself in the fact that this
it's a rabbit hole for real
may or may not be happening because once you do it all starts making sense for real and it's like well how the hell does that make sense, that has to be for real, and then it's just it's like a mind freaking okay so
17 YouTube videos later
bro and it's so much stuff and it really does be making sense and it really goes all together. So like those movies though is what I was getting at was they have numbers in them that go together and click together and align with certain dates, and supposedly the author or whatever of the movie, right, he did that stuff on purpose intentionally. So it's like I'm one. So is Nope based off of? It's one of those type of.
Right. Are they trying to tell us something?
Listen, it's a good movie. You gotta. I mean, we're gonna watch.
What's it about?
We'll watch it tonight.
It's about aliens.
It's about UFOs.
And it's also Daniel Kaluuya, the British actor who was in Get Out. He's British. You know that. The black guy's British, right? No, right?
Oh, yeah. The same dude who was in Get Out.
Who's in Get Out?
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's British.
So basically, they got like a horse ranch is the premise of the movie. Mm-hmm. Him and his sister. Right?
Him and his sister,
I remember. Yep. And like I said, I didn't get through the end of it because guards kept walking the tier and we had to keep cutting it off. And then eventually the homies was like, man, fuck this movie. And then so the dude who owned the little thing got too frustrated with cutting it off.
For that. And it's stuff happens in the field and then in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay,
it's good.
It's hella good though.
With those big things, those big crickety things, right? Something happens with the big crickety things.
It's about locusts?
Yep.
I don't think there's locusts in that movie.
Too.
Okay.
Just check it out.
You
just
know
check it out.
We'll watch it after
this.
Yeah, we'll watch it after this, and we'll tell you guys.
Okay, so what you got now?
Okay, so I'm gonna
go,
start
Kalvin.
this. I do have notes. I'm gonna start this off. I've been thinking about how should I bring this up. I'm gonna start this off with Lacey. What do women want from a man?
Like in what aspect? What do you mean?
In general, what does the general woman, the population of women, want from men back then and today?
I might not be as needy as some, but I think a general a 50-50.
So just to clarify, this question is relationship specific, right?
It could be, yeah. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Relationships, when a woman wants to settle down and choose a partner.
A 50-50. I want, for me, like, family. I'm huge on family because I have a big family and my family is really close and we're really, like, interactive and we do a lot of stuff together. And something that initially would, like, draw me extra if I was looking or whatever per se would be someone that was really family oriented or had a big family or a big group of friends or something like of this sort, right? Because I like people. I'm a people person. I like to hang out. I like to have a good time. I don't like to just sit at home and be constricted to the house all the time. I like to hang out in group settings and do active things.
Okay.
I think 50-50, so, like, you're both working, you're both paying half the bills, you're both paying half of the things that make like, if you have kids, you're going 50-50 on all the activities or things that have to do with the kids. Not like...
Are you keeping score?
Not like,
your turn, my
no,
turn,
not like, hey, I went to the store and I saw a cute pair of shoes, so I bought them, I want 50 for 50.
Okay.
Not like that, but like, it's Achilles' birthday. So you pay for this and I'm going to pay for this. Like, the food is this. Let's split that. Or let's, whatever. Christmas, you know, like if, of course, so he's more on like they don't need that, right?
That's where I'm at too.
And I'm like, I want to give them that, and why not? And I'm also I'm home with them the majority of the time. He is gone from 10 to 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. So he's not really here with them, but like couple hours before bedtime. You know, I'm with them all freaking day. Even when school starts, I will still be with them from 3 to, 7:30. That's still a 4-hour window that he doesn't have to like. So the 50-50, so like sports, right? If they're in a sport function, 50-50 on uniform costs, 50-50 on that. Groceries, bills, and I don't know. It's hard to say 50-50 on parenting when it's not up to us. Say, kids will always rely more on a certain parent, generally,
100%
on who they're comfortable with, and it oftentimes is the mother for whatever reason. Mommy this, mommy that, mommy, can you do this? Even though daddy might be right there or free or not doing anything, but they refer to the mother. Either, I don't know what it is, but I've heard it from, it's just a thing. It's just nature, I guess, really. I don't know.
A little more?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like when they want something to eat.
Oh, okay.
When they want to go do something. When they want you to look at something. When they want you to play a game. It's always mom. That's like the first thing. And it's not just our household. It's literally like America. Because these are things I read all the time, right?
I grew up the same way. Mom.
Yep.
If I wanted something, mom.
And we have our parenting group and stuff. So I also like refer to things there a lot.
And I run a parenting group, and one thing that you have to realize is with the whole, gender phenomenon, there's a lot more, dual parents of the same sex or trans parents, and then there's also in the last 20 years or so the complete role swaps where there's way more stay-at-home dads, and there's studies on it, than there were 20, 30, 40 years ago. So in some households, that's dad who's getting asked a lot because he's home and the mom's working.
Right.
And that's on purpose. Like there's stay-at-home dads that's what they chose, not because they couldn't find a job or whatever. Like, okay, that's what I'm doing. My wife's a lawyer, my wife's a doctor, or she's, bringing in the bag. I'm staying at home. And they're doing the PTA thing and the sport thing and whatever else, whatever have you. Like, we're fortunate that we're both working, especially right now, because of how bad the economy had got during and post-COVID.
Right.
And we're still kind of in present moment COVID, but we're still dealing with the after effects. The food, everything's up. So you know what I'm saying? So having a household without two people working, hopefully that the one person that's working is eating.
Right.
So,
you know what I'm saying? It's fortunate.
My expectations, anyways, are things that I would look for, right? It would be family-oriented, someone that contributes, like, on a 50-50 basis, right? So, not, like, expecting me to be cooking dinner all the time, but, like, they can cook dinner also for everyone, or bring home the dinner that I don't always have to either pay for or cook for dinner. Someone that is 50-50 in the activities, so like our kids have sports or do whatever, that they're contributing in those in some way, that they're inclusive, that they're super like hands-on with the kids, family oriented, 50-50 with like money across the board, and that's not including, like I said, like I love to shop, right? So I'm not like, oh, I bought this new rug, I want 50%. Right, I want you to give me 50, half of that. It's like big things like, hey, we need a new couch. Like, let's go half on it. Hey, we're going to get a bigger TV. Let's go half on it. That type of stuff. But also, I don't like gender role based things, because this is 2023, okay? Like, I work, you work. I pay this, you pay this too. I can cook, you can cook too. I can do this with the kids, you can do this with the kids too. I can clean, you can clean too. I can do the laundry, you can do the laundry too. Like, I don't want to be solely relied on for whatever. Now, if I do it, cool, but I don't want to be like expected. So it's a difference when it's expected, versus like it just is what it is because it's how it is and it's what works.
Okay, so you guys don't believe in gender roles, or you do?
I don't.
This is a couple questions.
I don't.
I mean, I don't necessarily not believe in gender roles because, as some of you guys know, we were in a relationship before. This is the same marriage, but it's a different relationship. And the first relationship we were in, I was the only breadwinner. You know what I mean? And so everything she's talking about now didn't exist for her. She didn't have a job. She wasn't contributing. So we did have that gender role. I went home and worked. When I was working at Red Lion, I was also working at Pack Walls.
Right.
And you worked there too. So I was doing labor and then banquets, you know what I'm
Same
saying?
day.
Same day. I was working doubles. And it was basically her job to take care of the house. So we did live in that gender role that she's saying she doesn't believe in.
Right.
However, now in this setting, that's why I say it's fortunate that we're both able to work and we're both able to bring it in, because now you can change your ideas and be like, okay, well, now because I'm working, now I have these new ideas and expectations of what's expected.
Okay.
But before she was working and we were in this relationship, I was expected to pay everything 100%.
And you did
Of course I did.
Right.
For not just our family, for other families too. And
Right.
some of you guys know that. But now, because I'm able to change my mind and my thought process, and I'm able to evolve, the relationship we're in now is good. It is 50-50. We both pay half the bills. We both pay half the food. You know, there's things I don't agree on. Like, example, she bought a trampoline. I said, I don't think they should have one. So,
and a pool.
And a pool,
And
which
a new
I
bed
also
for
said.
her
A basketball
son.
court.
But you know what
I'm just
Yeah.
noticing shit. That's all.
Yeah. This is the shit that I bought, and he didn't
But
want to put half on it.
I didn't
But
want to put
still
half
got
on it because
wanna
I
give it to my kids.
didn't believe in it.
Right.
So to me, I
And a
agree.
kitchen table.
I agree with what she says. However, I also feel if I'm firmly against it, then I shouldn't be forced to go half on it.
You're not.
If
Were
you
you
don't-
against the table?
I wasn't, but at the same time, I wasn't for it in the moment.
Right.
So her idea is to rush and get everything done as soon as her checks allow it. And I'm in a state of mind right now where I want to save and stack and do it when there's a lump sum. We could just grab what we want.
Boom, boom.
So if she decides,
But
I
you
don't
weren't
want
in
to
a
wait.
rush to buy your car. Were you?
Yeah, I was. So my thing is when,
But that lump sum of payment every month of
but it was zero
$1,000.
down. You understand?
It's actually a deal. It's crazy how men and women think different. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
exactly.
That's
But
a deal.
because also I
It's a
have
10-year
I have
commitment.
2 registered
$1,000
businesses that she has no part in that I'm fully committed to and make profit off of on a regular basis.
Right.
My businesses.
I don't see the profits.
Because she doesn't have any understanding of future planning for business, which she's admitted.
Right.
And there's not a problem with that. We are not on the same page when it comes to running a business. I don't hold that against her. That's her prerogative. If she had a business that she was into, then she would be 100% involved. But I run the Red Merchant with, my homeboy, Mama's boy, Brian. And I also have the Pursue It If You Want It company. And I've already sold many, many, many hoodies, which has been profitable.
Right. Or else you wouldn't do it. Right.
Yeah, or I wouldn't do it. But at the end of the day, I'm also working on a nonprofit, which has been offered to be paid for and sponsored, which is going to bring in revenue for a lot of people that need it, especially where we come from, coming out of prison, helping people get their, certified peer counselor and certificates and recovery coach academy certificates. Like, I want to help those people and also help people that are in the field that I'm in with self-care, get funding and grants for like retreats and things like that. So that's what my nonprofit is
Question was
going on.
expectations, right?
Well, I'm gonna ask you guys a different question. I'm gonna rephrase it. Do you think that the way society is set up now, independent woman, 50-50, which is all great, Me Too, it's all lovely and all that, versus how it was in maybe the 50s and 40s, do you think that it's going to set up women and men for failure in the future? Because I'm going to come back around and answer something for you.
I don't. Okay, so like the whole independent, like that, people take that on different levels, just like anything else. It is taken how they want to take it.
Right.
Right? So some take that as, and they take it above and beyond and like, oh, I don't need whatever. To me, an independent just means that you can independently take care of yourself.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's all.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's it. That's all. It's not, doesn't mean you're fucking so great. It doesn't mean you're like better than. It doesn't mean you're less than. It doesn't mean you don't need, because essentially men and women don't need each other. They want each other. Right. And so I think that the independent thing is more of like a benefit, right? It's a benefit. Like I independently.
I think it's a movement.
Yeah, I
think it's a movement.
It depends on how the person perceives it, right, or how they're expressing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's a movement, and it's one of those things where, you know, people get a hold of something, society gets a hold of it, it gains a bunch of momentum, and then people get on board. But there's that part of society that is still what they call it old-fashioned. You know, the husband's the breadwinner, the wife's the kitchen, and you know the whatever. That's old-fashioned way of thinking.
But also,
they said
if that
to
was
me
happening,
when we were in court.
If that was happening, right? So if the husband is the worker, and the wife is not working too, so
should she do the?
So then she has the
things?
homely duties because she's not working. She's at home. So, like, sure, she can do this or that, right? Doesn't mean she doesn't need a break or that she doesn't have to.
That leads me to a question that's probably going to be controversial. Is your equality based on money? Does money buy you equality? Or are you coming into a relationship with the mentality that we are equals as individual with or without money? Because what you're describing is money buying equality. If you don't have a job, you're not my equal. You can't pay half the bills. You can't do this.
But that's how you lived before and believed. You always said it to me.
Well, I had
I'm
the
working,
money.
And you're staying home, so I expect you to clean and cook and take care of
No. It was an agreement. I told you when I had the money that I would take care of you.
Right.
And you agreed. If you had ever said, I want to go to school, I want a job, I would have never said, no, that's not what you're going to do. You weren't in a position mentally to hold a job, for one, if we're going to be honest. And two, had you wanted to.
There was points where you didn't want me.
Well, he's working 2 jobs. It's the difference between men and women. I can see what he's saying. I can see what you're saying too, but as a man, I can see if he's working from sun up to sundown, who's going to do the home things, right? I can't see that. But I want to ask you guys.
But on any given day, let me tell you something. I would rather work than be a fucking stay-at-home full-time, because that shit is hard.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
Not easy, okay?
100%.
It will mentally fuck you. It will depress you, stress you. It will have you. It is insane. So I would 1000% choose working over being a full-time, devoted stay-at-home.
There's probably there's probably a whole society of people or women, I'd say, that feel that way. There's also a whole society of women who thrive under the stay-at-home mom.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Umbrella. And that's what they want. That's what they love. And some of them have side jobs or online jobs, especially since COVID, like the online jobs.
Yeah, and there's fucking TikTok and there's things within themselves that are just like,
But what I'm saying, there's people that thrive. There's people that thrive under that. And there's stay-at-home dads that thrive under being a stay-at-home dad as well.
I'm glad you said that. Because same scenario. Let's just say Lacey made fucking $8,000 a month after taxes. You could stay home and you guys decided to do that. I feel in that scenario, maybe you should do those things at home. The cooking, the laundry, the cleanup. If you guys designated that she was going to go to work and bring home, you know, and that's totally fine.
Okay, so actually here's the thing. I don't think it's money-based. I think it's time-based.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if you're working 8 to 5 or whatever, right? If you're working 8 hour day office job or whatever, and you come home, you still have energy and time to fucking do just as much equally.
Okay. Well, hold on. So I'm gonna interject real quick. Okay. As a man, at its core, because I asked you, what do women want? At its core, men want to be respected. Women want to be loved, right? I could give two shits about. I mean, yeah, I want to be loved by my family or whatever, but at its core, I want Tiffany to respect me, right?
I do too.
And she wants.
I would
to be
say, like, love or respect. I'd want to be respected. Personally.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, because I will say all the time, like, you wouldn't talk to your friend like that. Or you wouldn't fucking get irritated at your friend for saying that to you, you know? And it's like, and I am the same way. I sometimes have to think about myself. Or, like, he'll say, you don't say that to the kids when they ask you. But it's like, because in my head, they're kids. And it's like, why would I say that to them? Because they're a child and they do need me to fucking do this for them or whatever, you know?
Right.
But, yeah. Super interesting.
I feel. Go ahead.
I don't have that desire to like be loved. Of course, everyone wants to be loved.
Everyone wants, of course.
But I feel if in our dynamic, I feel like for sure he wants to be loved more than I want to be loved. Like if that was like the topic of like what was more important to you, he's a fucking lover.
He wants to be loved.
Yes.
To you, respect is more important.
Yes, he wants to have a big family. He wants to be loved. That's always been huge on him.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be loved in a happy marriage, happy life, like family, loving. Of course, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, the basis,
speaking for myself, it does boil down to being respected. Because if somebody doesn't, 100%. If somebody doesn't respect your choices or respect what you're doing or respect your ideas, then the love doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
To a man.
To me, I'm talking about me. I'm using I statements.
Okay.
For example, when you were in your addiction and you said that you loved me, I didn't feel respected. So I didn't respect our situation. Because for me, doing what you were doing was disrespectful. Even if you said and showed that you love me, my love language wasn't being heard. Because for me, you wouldn't have done none of that. You wouldn't have put everything at risk.
For me, in that situation, you wouldn't have cheated if you loved me. But you're telling me you love me.
Exactly.
You're cheating.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Can I interject again? I'm glad you said that. Because and this comes back to how we're built, right? For a man, if he's in a situation where he's not feeling, at its core, if he's not feeling respected, you run the risk of him stepping out.
Then why not leave then?
I don't know. I don't know because he still loved you to the point where he didn't want to lose you. And I'm just going to use you two as an example. But again, I'm going to come back to at its core of things. A man, if he doesn't feel respected at home, will go to his job, to his 9-to-5, where he is the top CEO, where he is respected and want to spend most of his time there because he feels respected there. You see what I'm saying?
From a psychological standpoint, I mean,
it's the truth. It's how we're built.
It makes sense.
It's funny because he's always thrived off of working, and he's a people pleaser. So he thrives off of pleasing people and getting feedback from people and doing things for people and getting like their
feedback.
Yeah, or just like their praises. And their praises of like, oh, you're so great and you're doing so great in this. Like that's from the outside. And that's
I was gonna say that's that's an outside perspective because I don't thrive on praise. I thrive on how I feel for being that person for somebody else. If somebody praises me, I give them and you've done it before praising me. And what have I done? I appreciate that. Yep. I appreciate when somebody shows genuine appreciation for something that I've done. But I'm 39 years old and I never stopped helping people. And I've been robbed, jacked, stolen from, snitched on, put in prison by people that were hella close to me. Right. And I bailed out, paid their rent and all that. And I never stopped being me. So if I thrived on praise, that doesn't sit right. That's not real. That's fake news. So what I thrive on is how I feel inside about myself. If I feel bad inside about myself, about what I'm doing, then I change it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm with somebody and they're not respecting me or they're making me feel bad, then there's chaos in my mind because to me, coming home to your family should be like where you take off whatever jacket you wore when you're outside. You take off the stress. If I'm a superhero, I get to walk in the door and drop my cape and throw it, on the floor and just relax. But if I come home and I'm still fighting battles like I did on the streets, then I might as well go back out there with them criminals. You know what I'm saying? Like using that as an analogy.
No,
if I'm a superhero and I'm whooping ass all day in the streets, beating up these criminals, and they're respecting me, or when they see my S, they're showing fear and respect, or whatever it is, then you go home, take off the cape, and you have to fight other battles. Then I'd rather fight those battles out there.
Kind of like.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because, again, at its core, a man, after fighting these battles outside and when he comes home, he doesn't want to have the battle for the king of the house with his partner. You see what I'm saying? So a man doesn't want like a promiscuous woman, or a man doesn't want to have to fight his wife for the throne of the house. A man wants to appeal to many, many, many women, and then choose this one. And this is what I'm trying to ask you guys. At its core, I know what a man wants at its core from a woman: to be respected. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to ask you guys, I'm trying to ask Lacey, at its core, what is it that a woman wants in her partner?
Same shit. Respected, appreciated.
For real,
because it's like
that's what I'm trying to get
I think that men don't realize the weight that mothers, okay, I'm not just saying women, but mothers carry, and the burdens and the things that we have to deal with as a mother. Strictly based on the fact that you could be home and the kid just might not be freaking asking you or depending on you or relying on you to do the shit that they rely on the mother for. That's a freaking its own stressful, like non-ending freaking, you know what I mean? 24 fucking 7. Like, mom. Dad's literally right there in the kitchen, chilling, and you can't ask him to put that shit in the microwave for you.
They'll walk past
I'm
that.
in my room trying to fucking have some me time for 5 minutes, and you fucking have to come all the way upstairs and ask me to come microwave you some shit. And I come downstairs, and he's literally right there. Like, why?
That's fine. Hey, there's been a couple
at the microwave.
Yes, and I'll literally be like, ask Dad. Why didn't you ask Dad? Dad's home, like, ask Dad. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you guys just you'll never. It's just the way it is.
It is.
It's not your fault.
Right.
It's just like something with the nurturing, I'm guessing, or something in the children that they feel the need to do that.
But again, you're speaking as a whole, as if this is the fact across the earth. It's not. Like I said, there is households, and it's going to be household-based who the kids go to. Because if the mom is a lawyer or a doctor or on-call marketing specialist, real estate, somebody that's gone a lot, and it's the dad that's handling these things, then it's the dad that's going to get asked.
Right. But the dad is still being respected by the mom when she comes home. In those gender
I'm just
roles.
talking about in the dynamic of what she's saying.
Okay.
Those dynamics will be different for every single household. Because you have dads that are super fun and sporty and want to do the camping and want to do this and want to be just hella involved with the kids. And then you have moms that are like that, or, vice versa. You can have the dad where he's just the typical old fashioned. He just comes in from work. He's strict. Everything's, oh, Dad's home. It's so they run to the mom because it's safer and it's more comfortable.
Right.
And then when the dad expresses that affection for the kids, to them it's like it's rare, so it's more precious and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, every household in our society, if we could go into just our cul-de-sac and do a survey or a house family study, case study on each family. I bet every cul-de-sac, every house in this cul-de-sac with kids, the family dynamic is going to be different. It's not going to all fall under the kids always go to mom.
But majority of the time, I do agree that they would go to mom, though.
But what do you base that agreement on?
Gender roles.
Okay, but I'm saying, knowledge-wise, what do you base that on? You're basing that on your core beliefs. what knowledge, what statistical, empirical evidence that you can say with confidence as a fact that the majority of the houses in our country are going to act that way?
You're right. I cannot.
This brings me into another topic too, like which we're not going to address this time because we're already on something, but which is that of like what makes a good parent, right? Because you can say, "Oh, I'm a good mom, I'm a good dad because whatever," but really, are you? What quality time are you giving? What one-on-ones, what extracurricular time are you giving? What attention are you giving? What positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement that is needed are you like providing and giving? You know what I'm saying? There's so many other like factors and what people consider like being a good parent and why. I'm curious of that.
Me too. Me too.
But not this time.
Right.
We're already on to stuff.
And I've always believed that when it comes to defining how good somebody is in a role, without getting into it, like we said, I'm just going to say this. It is in the eyes of the recipient.
True.
Of how good of a whatever you are.
True.
Because when somebody has their perspective, which is theirs, and they own it. For example, Scarlett could grow up and be like, my dad was the shittiest dad ever.
Right.
And then her brother could be like, what? Are you crazy? Our dad was dope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He did this,
he did this. It's individualized. So same with the marriage. You're only as good of a husband as your wife says you are.
Right.
And vice versa.
This is true.
You can tell your friends, I'm the best wife ever. Like, I do this. But if your husband is over here with his homies, like, man, fuck, my wife is whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I'm saying? You're only as good as the recipient of your energies.
Yeah, that's
they're the people who define you. You don't say, and it's this, and it boils down to the way our society thinks. Our government are elected, so they're only as good as
the voters.
You see what I'm saying? Their constituents put them in place. So if they're not good, they'll know.
Right.
They don't get to decide it. They can make their speeches and they can appeal and they can say, hey, this is what I believe about this issue. This is what I believe about this. But at the end of the day, how good of a friend, brother, mother, son, father, husband, whatever you are, is going to be determined by the recipients of your energies. And so that boils down to love. When you say like somebody wants to be respected or loved,
women, thinking that too.
which is
like you could be thinking you're giving. Like I was thinking, like you brought up earlier, I was thinking, I'm like in my head, like I'm giving you all of me, I'm giving you all my attention, I'm giving you all my affection, I'm taking care of the house, I'm taking care of the other, do this and do that. But to you, because I didn't love you. It didn't matter about all the other stuff I was doing. So it's like that it is. It's,
you know,
like,
and it boils down to,
you
know, the dude who wrote the book on love languages. I don't agree with all of it, but the overall concept makes sense. You have to learn the person. As a matter of fact, the best analogy I could use is when I said this to somebody the other day, and we were joking. I was at my job, and I was like, I don't want to live by the philosophy, because he said the golden rule is to treat somebody how you want to be treated. And I said, but what if that person is killing themselves?
Right.
What if that person is a piece of shit to themselves? What if I'm suicidal in my endeavors? If I treat you the way I treat me,
you a dead motherfucker.
You're not going to get treated very well.
Treat them how they want to be treated.
So you treat someone how they want to be treated. Example, another analogy is, if I give you my card alone and you say, hey bro, I'm going to treat it like it's mine, but you smoke cigarettes, you drive fast, I don't want you to treat it like it's yours. I want you to treat it like it's mine.
100%. I told someone that at work too.
And so that's how you treat people. You treat people how they want to be treated. But the only way to treat someone how they want to be treated is through communication and learning that person. Because if you're making assumptions about what you're doing being enough for that person's perspective of how they feel honored, respected, or loved, then you're wrong. And if you don't take the time to sit down and get to know your person and agreements and communicate.
I have a really good example. This is real life shit, okay? So I'm like OCD clean freak, right? Everything in the house has a spot. Even in my room, if there are clothes that are folded and piled up on the ground, that's their spot.
Okay.
That's where they fucking go. That's where they can fit. There's nowhere else for them to go. Okay? It's not because they're not fitting in the closet in the drawer where there's room. It's because that the capacity is reached and that's where the fuck they sit. But they are neat. Okay? The house, everything has a place. Everything has a cupboard. Everything has a put away spot. Everything has a place. Okay? He will say, "You're nagging me." I'm nagging. I'm nagging because he'll leave a fucking coat over the chair and a fucking hat on the table and a cell phone here and a charger here and a fucking shoe here and a sock here and a necklace where the pictures are hanging on the wall, on the nail where the pictures go, necklaces dangling on the fucking nail, like a wet towel on the bed, a wet towel when there's literally hooks on the backs of the bathroom doors for the towels, okay? Or like the lotion on the counter when there's the lotion goes in the cabinet under the counter. A toothbrush in a random bathroom or toothpaste carried to the next one. I'm nagging. But it's because in my mind, everything has a place where it goes and whatever. So why do I have to be nagging because I want and like things a certain way and because they go a certain way? Right?
Because also, boiled down to what Kalvin said, again, it boils down to respect. You don't talk to an adult the way you talk to a kid, even if they're doing something you don't like. You still have to communicate with them respectfully, and if you don't communicate with somebody respectfully, you're going to get friction. You're not going to get what you want.